Welcome back, students. We will continue learning arrays. We will learn passing array as an argument, getting length of an array, and out of bounds exception in array. I will demonstrate passing array as an argument through a program. Passing array I give. Class passing array. I create a method static void passing as array name, and then I will give the integer array to pass. So int name of the array I give as a and array symbol. Here I am not supposed to give size of the array, because when it receives array elements, automatically it will assign the length of the array. We can give the array values in the arguments itself. So after giving the values, let us sum up all the values in that array. So I need a variable to sum. Int sum is equal to 0 as initial value. So we need to take each and every element from that array. So what we can do, we can give a for loop. For from 0th index, whatever is stored up to the last index, we have to take all the elements to sum. So int I is equal to 0. I assume we are going to give 5 elements. I is lesser than 5. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I plus plus. To get the sum, I give sum is equal to sum plus a of I. I terminate this. So it will take element from 0th element to the last element, that is 4th element. Then I will print the sum after the loop. Plus sum. Let me compile this. No syntax error. When I give the value for that array, I must give inside the flower bracket. So as I assigned 5 elements. So I will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each separated with commas. Okay. Here I have given loop variable will go up to 5 iterations. But in case user gives less or more, what happens? Let us see. Again let us run this. Now I give just 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can see it has come back to the program and it shows java.lang.array index out of bounds exception. This error happens when the loop tries to get the element which is not available in the array. So that means we have given only 3 elements, that is 0, 1 and 2. When it is trying to get the third element from the array, it is not available. So automatically it shows out of bounds exception. So we should match number of iterations in the loop to the last index of that array. In this case, we were not knowing the length of that array. So at that time, we can take the length of array by using length function. To find the length of array, we write name of the array dot length and we terminate. For example, if we have array called ARR, then we initialize the value like this. To find the length of this, we can write ARR dot length and then we terminate. If we wanted to store this length in a variable, then we can initialize the variable int L is equal to, because the length is in integer, ARR dot length. So automatically length of that array will be stored in variable called L. Here in the example we have 8 elements. So L will be 8. Let us go back to the program. So now here we can have one more variable called length, and then we initialize this as L is equal to, A is the name of the array, dot length, then we terminate. So automatically the length of the array given is stored in L. So we will give, instead of constant here, we will give L. So now no matter how much ever element is given there in the argument, it is taken. So let us run this. Now I give 6 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so it could show the result. Now I will demonstrate another program where we take the input from the user for the array and then we pass that array to the other method, maybe the same method. So to take the input, I will have import java.io.star and then we terminate. So I will have another method, static void input of. As we have imported IO class, I will give throws IO exception. So let me declare first a integer array variable. I will take it as class variable, static int array called b. So is equal to new int of maybe size 10. Now to take input, let us create the buffered reader object. Of new input stream reader of system.in, then we close, terminate. We will prompt the user system.out.println of, we say input 10 integer array element. To take 10 elements, I will have for loop int I is equal to 0, I is lesser than, we can give lesser than 10, otherwise lesser than b dot length, then I plus plus. Now even if we change the value of this also not a problem. So I give now 4. So again we don't need to change here as lesser than 4 and all. So better always we will say the length here in the for loop. So let us assign the value b of I is equal to integer dot parse int of br dot read line of. So now this method takes the elements for the array called b. Now we will pass this value to this method. How? We will write the main method, public static void main of string of arguments, then we will say throws IO exception. So we have to create object for that class. So class name passing array and then object name obj I give. Obj is equal to new passing passing array of. So now I will call the methods. First I will call the method which is input method, so that we will take the input for that array B. So I will write obj dot input of. Now I will call passing method. So obj dot passing of. See here, I have taken values for array B. I will pass this value to the method here. So I write here B, then terminate. Let us again change this to 10 itself. Now compile this. No syntax error. We have to run the main method. So it is asking 10 inputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and then 10. We already know it will be 55. So let us check whether it is right or wrong. So sum of all the elements given array is 55. Students, I hope it is very clear to you how to pass array as an argument. We will continue in the next session. Until then, thank you students.